I can't be the only one who loves a good comfort meal for Sunday dinner, and this garlic herb butter chicken is exactly what it is, a good Sunday comfort meal. And let me show you exactly how I did it. So I had some drumsticks in the freezer, and we're going to go ahead and clean them off. Now, if you don't like to clean your protein, you can go ahead and skip this part, but this is just my preference, so I'm going to go ahead and clean it. First thing I'm going to do is get me some cool water. I'm going to get all my drumsticks in the pot, and then I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning it off and butterflying it. Now, my drumsticks was still a little frozen, so this was a little bit difficult, but we're going to go ahead and get the parts that we can get done, and then we're just going to come back later and finish it all off. Now, I'm trying to butterfly all of them and make sure I get them nice and flat, which is going to help the seasoning get all the way through the chicken. Before, I never used this technique, but I'm starting to see that it's very popular, and a lot of people are doing it, so I thought I was going to go ahead and give it a try. Now, I'm getting all my drumsticks butterfly. We're going to take off any ick that we don't want, any fat, anything that we see on the chicken, and then we're going to go ahead and rinse it until the water runs clear. Once we got our chicken nice and clean, we're going to go ahead and start seasoning it. So the first thing I added was some of that homemade sofrito that I made. I'm going to go ahead and add me about 1.5 spoons of that, and I'm going to go ahead and start in with my normal seasonings that I would use for my chicken, which is going to be some garlic powder. Definitely going to go ahead and use some onion powder. I have some Badia Complete, which I made sure I add some of that in there as well. Like I told you guys, I'm going to go ahead and add that garlic powder in there. So I was running out of garlic powder, so I had to go ahead and use another garlic powder that I had to open up, and we're going to go ahead and add that in the chicken. Now it's time to go ahead and add some of that smoked paprika in there. I'm going to make sure I add a generous amount because the garlic powder, onion powder, paprika does not have any salt in it, so you don't have to worry about it being salty. Now I am going to go ahead and add in some of that Kenda's roasted chicken blend because I have that up there and I just want to use it. Go ahead and grab some of that Tony's and make sure I put some Tony's in there. And then when I was putting my Tony's in there, I realized I was running low, so I need to make sure I put that on the list for the next time I'm in the market. Went on ahead and got me some cilantro, and I'm going to put a little bit of cilantro in there. If you have the fresh herbs, you can also use fresh herbs, but I just have the ones that are in the jar, so that's what we're going to use this time. Now I'm also going to go in with some parsley because we fancy like that, so go ahead and get you some parsley. Sprinkle a little or as much as you want, whatever your heart desires. Now I'm going to go ahead and mix my chicken, and this is what it looks like when it was mixed up. Everything was evenly coated with the seasoning. The seasoning was soaking all the way through the chicken down to the bone. When I tell you this chicken is going to be so flavorful because I can already smell the goodness. Now I'm going to go ahead and start preheating my oven, and once my oven is preheated, we're just going to go ahead and sear our chicken. I'm going to get me a pan, put a little bit of oil in there, and I'm going to get a nice sear on both sides of the chicken. I put my pan all the way on high, and then I'm going to leave my chicken on there for about 3 minutes on both sides. I just want to sear it. I don't want to burn it, and I had to do this in batches because my pan wasn't enough room for all of my chicken to go in there, so we're going to do it in about 3 batches. After I got a sear on that side, it was time to go ahead and check my chicken and flip it over, and it was looking beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You see that nice beautiful brown color on your chicken? That is what you are looking for. Make sure I got a sear on the other side, and after all my chicken was nice and seared, this is what it looks like, and it is time for me to put it in the oven. But before I put it in the oven, I'm going to get all of that seasoning that's left over, and I'm going to pour it right on top of my chicken. We not wasting nothing, and we not leaving nothing behind. We're going to make sure that we get everything in there. Now I'm going to put it in the oven uncovered, 350 degrees until your chicken is all the way done. Once my chicken was done, it was time to go ahead and make the sauce that's going to go on top. I already cut up my veggies, so what we're going to do is get us a pan, put a stick of unsalted butter, because we already have our chicken seasoned. You don't need to add any more salt to this dish. Now if you like it salty, then go ahead and do you, friend. I'm just sitting here telling you how I did it. Went on ahead and added in my garlic, added in some red onions that I had. I also had some peppers that was sitting around, so I wanted to make sure that we go ahead and use those. And I did have some fresh herbs too that I wanted to go ahead and use, which was some thyme and some parsley. Added everything in together, and I'm going to go ahead and let the butter melt down, let the garlic cook. I'm going to let the peppers cook. I also had some green onions as well. I'm going to go ahead and let that cook. And then I did put just a sprinkle of seasoning on top, but this was no sodium seasoning, so we're just going to go ahead and let everything marinate and become one. Just a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder, and smoked paprika on top. That is it. That is all. Mix everything together, make sure everything combined, everything cooked down, and once everything was good and ready to go, it's time to go ahead and pour it right on top of your chicken, friend. And this is me pouring it right on top of the chicken. And after I got my sauce poured on top of there, I am going to go ahead and put it back in the oven just for a few more minutes, just to make sure all of my flavors are combined. And then it was time to go ahead and work on those side orders. So for side orders, we're going to have us some rice and beans. I'm also going to go ahead and steam a little bit of spinach, and that is going to be it. So once everything is done, it looked just like this. And when I said my kitchen was smelling so good, I cannot explain to you how good the kitchen was smelling. This meal, absolutely 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. I would make it again. This chicken was some of the best baked chicken I have ever had. Now it is time to go ahead and start making those plates. Now, you know I got to go ahead and put some extra rice on that plate for that man, because that man act like he ain't eating 7 days and 7 nights. After I got the rice and beans on there, it was time for me to go ahead and put those veggies on there, because you know you got to have your veggies. So for veggies, we're having our steamed spinach. So I went on ahead and made sure I put a nice good scoop of spinach. Now, when you cooking spinach, it's always going to shrink down. So make sure you put a little bit of extra in your pan if you like a lot of spinach. Now it's time to go ahead and add our chicken right there on the side of our plate. And when I tell you, this is one of my new favorite meals. It is absolutely one of my new favorite meals. Went on ahead and put that chicken on there. Time to go ahead and put a fork in it, because dinner is served, y'all. Added a few of those extra veggies on top, and it was time for me to go ahead and put me on a movie, sit down, relax, and enjoy some food. And y'all, do not forget, if you are loving these videos that I post, don't forget to like, comment, share, and I will see you guys in my next video, because y'all, it is time for your girl to go eat. Bye, besties.